Hello, students. Today, let's go on a virtual journey to Mauritius, a tiny island in the Indian Ocean, with R.K. Lakshman, the author of the lesson Mauritius. It is a beautiful country with a wide variety in terms of race, languages spoken, culture, and other aspects. Let's read the lesson and see how does the author describe it. But before reading the lesson, let's know about the author R.K. Lakshman. R.K. Lakshman was born on 24th October 1921 in Mysuru. His father was a headmaster. He is the brother of R.K. Narayan, a well-known novelist, and the most notable novel is Malgudi Days. It is picturized and a serial is also made. R.K. Lakshman was the youngest of 6 sons. R.K. Lakshman was a popular cartoonist. He started drawing cartoons while he was in college. His cartoons were regularly published in The Hindu, The Times of India, and the Kannada humor magazine The Koravanji. He is known for his distinctive illustrations, most notably for Malgudi Days of his brother. See, you can see some cartoons, some of his famous cartoons you can see. He is the recipient of the Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, Raman Magsaysay, and many other awards. The lesson is a travelogue in which he is sharing his experiences of his visit to Mauritius. Travelogue means a description of a journey. Now let's see Mauritius. I'll read the lesson. The red dot in the world map is Mauritius. Can you see that red dot? A very small dot in the Indian Ocean. You can see, yeah. Here the author is R.K. Lakshman is sharing his experiences of his visit to Mauritius. Now, in the lesson you can see I have italicized some words in red font. You have to identify what they are. Actually, they are words that have homophones. I want you to find out the other homophone for that word. Now, let me read the lesson. The author himself is sharing his experiences. He is talking to us. The world atlas I have with has many little dots and specks which have really nothing to do with the world or geography. It is an old one, and time, the weather, and generations of cockroaches have put them there. So it was with great difficulty that I was able to locate Mauritius in the vastness of the Indian Ocean. It is a tiny speck of an island situated below the equator on the 20th parallel, some 4,500 kilometers southwest Bombay. You can see, it is an island in the Indian Ocean, a tiny speck, a very small dot or the spot that you can see. You can see, okay. The author says that the world atlas he had was very old and was almost destroyed. He could locate Mauritius with great difficulty as it was a tiny island. Now, let's see what he says next. Our aircraft is bearing us towards it. Through the occasional gloss in the clouds, I glimpsed the ocean spread like bluish grey steel sheet. There was acres and acres of cloud below me and having all sorts of funny shapes in an odd, abstract way. Curiously, they resemble figures in the ancient legends of China, Rome, Greece, India, and what have you. I have given the meaning here. Gloss means shine, glimpse means glass, and I have italicized some sentences. I have pointed out some figure of speech used in those sentences. The remaining ones you need to do. The ocean spread like bluish grey steel sheet is a simile. The airplane flies in the stratosphere layer above the clouds, as you have already learnt in 8th standard. Here, the author is drawing comparison between the different shapes of clouds and a variety of people belonging to different race, languages and language in such a small island. See, he says, I cannot help drawing a comparison, although albeit ridiculous, means although funny and rather far fetched, between my vague, that is, which is not clear, observations from a great height of 10,000 meters. He is not able to see it. This is on the left side, you can see that's a view captured from the airplane. And so the author is drawing comparison between different shapes of clouds. Here you can see different shapes of clouds with a variety of people living in Mauritius. He finds similarity between them. He is surprised to see people coming from different countries who have learned to live together. You can see this tiny island has an astonishingly similar variety. Strange juxtapositions, means people living together coming from different countries. Incongruities, that is out of place, coming out of place, and it's an odd mixture of race, that is people of various countries speaking different languages yet living together in harmony. He was very surprised to see that how people have mingled with each other, coming with such different countries. Here he says further, here Africans and Chinese, Biharis and Dutch, Persians and Tamils, Arabs, French and English all rub shoulders. Rub shoulders means they live in harmony, merrily with one another, and emerge with a peculiar sense of oneness. Very nice. A Tamil, for instance, bears a deceptively South Indian face and a name to go with it to boot, that is Radha Krishna Govindan. He is indeed from Madras, but the name itself says that he is from Madras. I speak to him in Tamil. He surprises me by responding in a frightfully mangled, means incorrect English with a heavy French accent. Mr. Govindan has no knowledge of Tamil and his tongue has ceased curling to produce Tamil sounds centuries ago. So this example of Radha Krishna proves how people have adopted themselves with the people they are living. He is a Tamilian, that is, he is an Indian. He is trying to talk in English, which is from England, with an French accent. So he is a mixture of three races or three cultures, we can say. This is how the author is explaining, trying to explain us how people have adopted themselves to Mauritian culture. Like others of his fellow men, his ancestors were brought to the island as slaves or later as indentured laborers to work in sugarcane fields and factories or to cut timber in the jungle and haul it to the boats. Their roots in the original homelands withered and disappeared with the passage of time. That means they have almost forgotten, they have gone and lived there and have accepted that country as theirs. All of them together happily game means worked and lived to share in the triumphs and defeats of whoever happened to be their masters among the beckoning trinity. Here trinity is referred to the three countries, Dutch, French and the English, who had colonized these countries of those days. I have given one more here metaphor. Their roots in the original homelands withered and disappeared with the passage of time. This is a metaphor. So many of them were brought to this island by the Europeans as their slaves or laborers, and with the passing of time, they lived here, lived for their livelihood and settled here and learned to live in harmony with others, sharing good as well as bad times together. The Dutch, the French, and the English were on war for colonizing and for monopoly of trade, to have the piratical trade and other influences on one another. The Dutch, the French, and the English, who constantly waged battle for the possession of the island, for its spices and sugar, or just for the strategic position on the maritime route to the east. So it was a it lies in a very important position in the east, conveniently placed at it was for the piratical purposes. However, the Battle of 1810 ended all that in favor of the English. So, in a battle between the French and the English defeated the French surrendered and handed over the island after extracting a favor from the conquerors that the French influence on the island be left intact. So, after getting defeated by the English, French took permission from them to have trade contact in to have trade contact with other countries in Mauritius. The English kept their word to the last day of their rule, which ended in 1968. And so, we still have very musical but unpronounceable names like Trox, Bitches, Bio, Basin, Quarter Bones, Quarpipe, Rosbelle, and so on. These are the French names. So, many French people have stayed there. Therefore, we find some French people also whose names are quite difficult to pronounce. The people here are extremely relaxed and warm towards strangers. In the streets, in the bazaar, in restaurants, it is common to be greeted and smiled at as if you were a long lost friend. Very nice, very good, hospitable people. Coming from Bombay, with my precast grim expression of a city dweller, I react awkwardly at first to such spontaneity and feel ashamed that I am not even able to produce a matching smile. Here, the author is feeling bad later that though the people welcomed him warmly with a smile, he did not give the same warmth or he did not smile at them back. So, he is feeling afterwards ashamed of it, ashamed of himself. The same atmosphere of friendliness prevails in Port Louis. Port Louis is the capital city of Mauritius. You can see how big it is, and it is so populated now. It's a recent photograph. The seat of government. All the government offices are located in Port Louis. The cabinet ministers and others in high positions do not act as if they were born to the grace. Here, born to the grace means the VIPs too do not have any reservations. The government officials do not follow any protocol like how we have in India. They are just like ordinary people one bumps into an airport lounge or in your hotel lobby. So, anytime they live as a common man and they go anywhere without any security, people having with weapons and all that to give them security. Now, the author is describing them very beautifully. He says they are unassuming, accessible, communicative, and above all, go about without a protective shield of hangers. Protective shield of hangers means not having any kind of weapons or something like that to safeguard them. Shield of hangers on and security men to repel casual approaches. To repel casual approaches means to avoid the approaches. You know that all VIPs in India go with some security people who do not allow common man to talk to the VIPs. So, they don't follow any kind of such protocol. I am shown a modest looking flat in a busy street lined with shops and crawling traffic. It is the residence of Prime Minister of Mauritius. So it shows that he lives in a common area. His flat is found in a common area where there is lot of traffic. This is the Prime Minister's residence, day and night time. Port Louis brings to my mind Joseph Conrad and Maugham. These two are writers. This little port town seems as if it were built at the suggestion of these writers to suit their novels and short stories. Merchant ships, trawlers, dinghies stand anchored in the harbour with cobwebs of ropes and festoons. Festoons are, you can see how the ships and the boats are there in the harbour. See, this is how. This is a Port Louis city where you find lot of dinghies and boats waiting for the sailors. It's a beautiful port city. You can see boats with colorful festoons. Colorful festoons are the cloths that they chain to the boats to look beautiful. This is how, this is the aerial view of Port Louis. Now he is further explaining. Grimy sailors and dock hands in seaman's cap lounge on oil drums and packing cases or lean against bleak warehouse walls smoking pipes. Sugarcane fields like a carpet of green cover the island on all sides as far as the eyes can see up to the foot of the distant blue mountains that ring the island. Volcanic happening of geological ages. So earlier time, see this is the sugarcane fields, how you can see the mountains in the far off, and these sugarcane fields surround the Mauritius city. Are they not beautiful? How beautiful they are. And these are the mountains. These mountains do not have the traditional monotonous pyramidal shape. Their outlines are freakish, that is, you can see they are abnormal, and but they look beautiful with unexpected sweeps and perpendicular drops and pinpointed peaks, precariously doing a balancing act with boulders as big as skyscrapers. You can see how big they are. See, these mountains they do not have a traditional way, that is like how other mountains are, because of the influence of the volcano. The volcano that erupted long back has changed the shape of the mountains there. That's why the mountains are not of the normal shape. This is the this volcano was called as Trox by them. It's a dormant volcano. Okay, there is no railway in Mauritius. Well maintained trunk and arterial roads connect various villages and towns. You can see the arterial roads means highways, how the highways are there in between the sugarcane fields, cut those roads. Roads connect with various villages and towns, cutting through the ubiquitous, that is the sugarcane fields which are found everywhere. Although the whole country is just 64 kilometers by 50 kilometers in size, driving round the island for sightseeing makes me feel curiously and that I am in a place as sprawling as India. But the excellent weather and breathtaking landscapes all round make up for many hours spent just sitting inside a car. So though the country is very, very small, just 64 by 50 kilometers, but the landscapes, they take lot of time to have view of all these beautiful landscapes. The weather is also very clear and they have beautiful landscapes. It is common for people to drive up and down an average 70 kilometer to your cocktail party or dinner with friends. So they almost spend the whole day in looking at these, see how beautiful the landscapes are. The first left photo is called as rainbow sands. You can see the sands of different colors. So this is the sugarcane fields and there is one church, and all these are beautiful landscapes of Mauritius. See how beautiful. This is a small island. This is the aerial view of Mauritius. How beautiful, na? Very beautiful. So girls, I will not be able to complete the lesson in one video. So I will stop here and I will continue the lesson in the second video. I hope you enjoyed looking at this beautiful, you had a beautiful virtual journey to Mauritius. We will continue the journey in the second video.